Oh, good morning, good afternoon, good night. I'm Blackbright and I'm broadcasting out of the UK, and I tend to talk about subjects that I either find disturbing, I think might be of public interest, to help those who are complacent to pay attention and stuff like that. And also for those people who don't know certain aspects of the law, I kind of sometimes put it out there to make it a bit more simpler so that they can understand the consequences of any bad behaviour or any unlawful behaviour. Now today I am going to show you a video. It's actually 6 minutes long, but I'm not going to show you the whole 6 minutes because I think that would take up too much time. But it is a video of how they're catching immigrants now travelling from one city to another and one country to another. And you want to see this.
Excuse me. Sorry. This is what? Victoria Station? 7:15 in the morning. Immigration doing their thing. Never seen this before. This is England.
This is the first time.
This is England, everybody. This is what's to come. No, sorry. This is what's going on. This is Brexit. This is Brexit. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think?
First time I see that.
Huh?
First time I see that in London.
Okay, I'm late. Got this young gentleman explaining things. Still don't make any sense. What legislation act or statute is under?
Very specific.
Yeah, which any specific?
Any specific?
Yeah.
People can volunteer
Volunteer.
be searched, or if there's grounds, we can search under the Anti Social. There's an Act in 2014.
Which is?
I remember the full title of it, but it's the Anti Social Behaviour and
Well,
so we can,
anybody anti-social
Doesn't sound very
behaviour,
convincing, does it?
Looks like they're behaving themselves.
no.
It's search under the Anti Social Behaviour Act. Yeah, Victoria Station. Friday though. What date is it?
So
Gonna be late for college.
if you go for someone, or there's something 36 already happening.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
Anti-social behaviour. Sorry, what was it?
Anti-Social Behaviour Crime and Policing Act 2014 has the power to search at locations like this and the trends come through from other countries.
Right, so is that power to search anybody
The travel
who's travelled?
people coming in through here are travelling, are they not?
Yeah, into the country.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're just travelling from Manchester or Leeds, do we need the immigration officers?
I would suggest not, but these international coaches where we're dealing with.
I'm just coming from Birmingham.
Right,
And there's a lot of people in the queue that hasn't come in off a plane. Yeah, some of them come from different countries, I say. But this is a coach station.
Yeah, that's Victoria Coach Station. Looks like an airport, doesn't it? And in fact, after her inquiries, they let her go through without searching. And she said, you know, people need to know their rights. A lot of those people who don't. But when you think about the power he cited, which was ASBO, Crime and Policing Act. ASBO stands for Anti Social Behaviour. That implies, you know, a lot of people making noise. It covers dangerous dogs. It covers rough sleeping. It covers, it's been expanded to cover people carrying knives and guns and stuff like that. But going through a coach station, I don't understand how, and I'm sure you wouldn't understand how, anti-social behaviour order applies. Well, the thing is that he quoted 2014, but in 2017, which I think he should have cited, they expanded the ASBO. Well, actually, I believe it was replaced by ASBO was replaced by the ASBO Crime and Policing Bill, which expanded the powers. So it's got nothing to do with Brexit. Well, it probably has got something to do with Brexit, but it's more to do with, curtailing any kind of disruptive behaviour, any kind of illegal behaviour. And I'm going to read out one of the powers that is included in this, because the Act will also amend the port and border security powers in Schedule 7 to the Terrorism Act to ensure that they strike the right balance between protecting public safety and protection of individual freedoms. It's also amended the Extradition Act 2003 to strengthen public confidence in the operational effectiveness of their extradition arrangements. So that means that if there's any kind of mass criminals who are trying to escape the country, this is going to be one way they're going to use their powers to get them to serve the country, to serve their trial in the right country, in the country where they actually did the crime. So that's to do with extradition. But yeah, there was also, it's to improve the, I've said that one. There was also another thing that it said, and the British Transport Police Authorities are bringing them in line with the territorial forces. That's what this ASBO amendment's done. It's quite it's a very powerful law. Because if you think about it, look what's happening in the coach station. Now, I think they must have a contract. It's not like a stop and search situation. In the stop and search situation, the police would have to identify themselves. They would have to tell the person why they're being detained, under what powers they are, what powers they are stopping them for, things like that. Why they're suspicious about them coming through. But in this particular situation, it's like a contract agreement. So, like when you go to the airport, if you go into a football ground or, some clubs, as a condition of going into the club or as a condition of going into the airport, you agree to be searched. So that is what power they've kind of put in place to amalgamate that with the Act. Isn't that absolutely, I don't even know what the word is. Anyway, so this is what you're calling a real hostile environment for illegal immigrants or undocumented immigrants, because they're being actually driven under. Because if you think that they can't get jobs because employers will either be shut down or given hefty fines, they can't get housing because landlords are being penalised and told to report, or you find these slum landlords who are just taking advantage of the situation and it's like hell. Their bank accounts are being frozen, so they can't save any money. They can't even get money. You've got immigration officers and police patrolling building sites to make sure that nobody is being offered work or these people are not on building sites. Anywhere where groups are being gathered where they would normally stand up and for jobs, because because the employers know these people who are exploiting these illegal immigrants or undocumented immigrants know. And what is sad is that many of these undocumented immigrants or illegal immigrants paid thousands to come to the UK, only to have their passport ripped off or taken away from them so that they can't go and they can't stay. And so these people are so vulnerable. I'm not saying that's all illegal immigrants. Of course, you've got the conniving illegal immigrants who marry British people just to get their stay, or have children because they think that is the way to get their stay. But the law has changed now. You have to be British in order. The fact that you've got having children in this country is not enough anymore. One of them has to be British, and preferably the father. If they're both British, all well and good. but the father is the only one who can register. And a lot of mothers, they just think that by getting the birth certificate, that's enough. They think, oh, I've got a birth certificate, my child is a British citizen. No, they have to be registered, and it costs over £1,000. So a lot of people are not re-registering or renewing their visa because they don't have the money. It's thousands to renew. Well, it's over 1,000 in regard, depending on what category you want to renew under. On top of that, there's a £500 health surcharge. It's not cheap to stay in this country. So a lot of them are being driven underground with this Hostile Environment Act, what they like to call Compliance Act. So when you see a situation like that, what looks as though it's not right or incorrect or breaches human rights, it can in a certain way, because like that lady, because they allowed her through, there must have been something, because I didn't show you the whole video, but they allowed her through and her colleagues without searching them. So there must be something in her questions that is unlawful about the process. But I'm not like I said, I'm not an expert. I don't know what the unlawful aspect would be. Because when there was one police officer was insisting that she get searched, and she said, am I obliged to be searched? Because that gentleman told me it was voluntary. In the end, they didn't search her. So there's something that's not quite correct, even though those laws are in place, but I don't know what it is. And unless I show you the whole video, I might show you the rest of it at the end if it stops at the same place that I stopped it. Just so for those of you who want to see the end of it, don't mind looking until the end. But I mean, it's a hard call, really. It's a really difficult call. I don't know where my empathy lies, to be honest, because I do understand that, whilst there are those who are victims, vulnerable victims, or are homeless, so many people homeless. You have people who married a British citizen. I don't know if they did it because they were, it was a sham marriage, or whether they genuinely thought it would work. But because that person who they married has the power, has decided, look, I don't want you anymore. Therefore, I'm going to report to the Home Office that we're not together. And so in reporting change of circumstances, that individual then becomes illegal if that person hasn't left the country. So there's lots of situations, how people become homeless, how people become destitute. And it's exacerbated because no matter where they look, they cannot work and survive. They are being driven to destitution and suicide. So, yeah, we do see all these illegal immigrants, blah, blah, all over the place. But, they're not having a fun time. Not all of them. Well, I don't think any of them are now, to be honest. If they're having a fun time, they've definitely got somebody on their side. So, but I mean, the majority of undocumented people are going to be driven out. It means that they won't be able to travel anywhere. They're always going to be on their guard. They're going to be so nervous. I mean, what a state of affairs to be in. I tell you something, I would not want to be in their shoes. Seriously. Anyway, I hope I've covered everything. Shall I have a look and see? Yeah, I think that's enough for now. Yeah, it's enough for now. Bye.